entering into this space with gratitude paid forward, I remember first to stop before I start and simply breathe. Breathe in and receive, and exhale, releasing everything. To begin at the beginning and say, happy day after the Belmont Stakes, beautiful people. I do hope all of you got to see and or hear about the running of the Belmont Stakes that took place at Saratoga last night. It is a life-changing experience for some. I am Reverend Vicky Jeter, your minister for Louisville Center for Spiritual Living, and we welcome you here on this Sunday, June the 7th of 2026. We welcome all paths to God. We welcome your challenges and your questions. All pieces and paths of spirit, all areas of life, and all parts of ourselves are essential to a world that works for all beings. So whether you're here with us for the first time, whether you have been with us since the first time, or if you're watching us on YouTube, we thank you for being with us because you are why we're here. Now, we have a number of significant honorings this morning to take into account and into consciousness, cultivating the space for opening prayer. So I would like to invite Vernon to give us the next slide, please. If you did see the Belmont Stakes, then this is a review for you, Miss Marouk and I for sure, and hopefully some of the others of you. And you may recall back the first week of May, we had the running of the Kentucky Derby. And you saw a picture very much like this because these are the same beings. They have made history. Golden Tempo won the Belmont Stakes last night with the same jockey, Jose Ortiz, and there is Miss Duval absolutely going crazy. I mean, I don't think she probably has a voice this morning. She screamed so loud out of her joy, jumping up and down as this horse came through to win this. And so when she won the Derby, she was the first woman trainer ever to do that. And now that she has won the Belmont, she is the first woman trainer ever to win two of the legs of the Kentucky Derby to begin with, and to win them both in the same year is just quite the deal. So for those of you who are cultivating miracle energy in your lives, this certainly would be another story that could be taken a dive into. Absolutely. So next slide, please, Vernon. Now, this is a new thing to me. This has been true since 2019, actually, because we all know that you can listen to the news if you listen regularly. It's almost like getting the nightly gun report or shooting report. And so there has been a cumulative effort to create the space for national gun violence prevention. Okay, and prevention, gun violence prevention being the key. And it has come to my awareness this morning, blessings to Harry, that it's really important that we recognize it's more about violence prevention, because just like drinking or anything that someone can get into trouble with, it's not the vehicle, it's not the car or the alcohol or the drug or the gun or the knife or whatever it is that's actually doing the thing. It's the people that are using those things in inappropriate and dangerous ways. And so as you see more about this, etc., I think it is a very good thing. And I suggested to Harry as he was imparting this to me, how would we upgrade this to say it's not about the gun. It's about, can we find a way to help people who feel so violent that they just explode and do whatever it is they do that is harmful to themselves and others. And one more. Next slide, please, Vernon. June is also National LGBTQ2+ Pride Month. And most certainly recognizing that all human beings are a rainbow of all kinds of characteristics and things that we do and things that have gone on. And anyone who has someone in their lives, for themselves or someone that they love, that has been through the trials, and that people who simply come from this signature have had to go through to make it a safe place just to be, as God created them. So we want to honor that this month as well. And however this might have struck you, take a moment to check in and see what brought you to be with us today as we enter into opening prayer. With all of this in mind, there is one, and that one expresses as all of existence. And as the one is all, it is all I am. It is my very breath, the word that I speak, as it is equally every breath and every thought, every rainbow of feeling that we have. All of us together. And from this alignment in unity, mind, heart, and soul, I realize that the intent and the cumulative intent together that we have for gathering, for naming these things, for learning as much as we possibly can about this journey of being spiritual beings, having a human experience, that God simply says yes at the level of the highest and best possible good within each and every individual, and that collectively that brings us the upgrading, the inspiration that we're all seeking. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. With the heart of a child, I simply release it, let it be, and so it is. And this brings us to our opening song, Give Yourself to Love, by Kate Wolf.
Kind friends all gathered round, there's something I would say, but what brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are as family, loneliness can't hide. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain, learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. And I always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. But like sunshine on a cloudy day, stand before me now. So give yourself to love, love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire. It's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. And love comes when you are ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It will be your greatest teacher, the best friend you have made. So give yourself to love. If love is what you're after, open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. If love is what you're after, open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
Good morning, and now's the time for our announcements. Next week's speaker will be our own Reverend Carolyn Harville, speaking on Higher, Deeper Love. I was made for loving you. And our next in-person gathering for dinner is at the Olive Garden on Friday, June 26th at 6 p.m. Eastern at that's the Olive Garden at 1320 South Hurstbourne Parkway in Louisville. And don't forget our Wednesdays with Full Wisdom, 11 a.m. every Wednesday on this Zoom. Join us for our little social hour.
So Vernon has unmuted me. I'll just take a moment on behalf of the Wednesday Wistful Wisdom Group, which could be called the WWW, is really celebrating because we have expanded from originally one Cornerstone member, which was initiated by our beloved Samantha. And for months, she and I held space. And then one person came. And then a few weeks or so, 6 weeks or so after that, a second person came. And we are now up to 5 essentially regular people that I send this reminder out to. And so if you have ever wondered what it is about a group like this, come check it out, because every single person who has tried has said, oh, I should do that again. And so just wanted to really kind of augment what that's about. Now, for our financial update starting out in June, most of you will recall that May was miraculous. We set a goal and we sailed past that goal. And thank you, thank you, thank you to every single one of you who participated in that. So we reset our general average budget for June, $2,550. Thus far, as of June the 6th, we have received $558.98, and that leaves us still to receive $1,991.02. And just like we did last week, this is a challenge for each individual and for us as a community to stretch your receptivity, stretch your absolute knowing. As Reverend Carolyn reminds me on a regular basis, Spirit sources its works. And I promise you all, I'm sure you all know from your own experience as well, but collectively, I'm here to tell you, Spirit does a lot of work through this community. And so trusting that absolutely what Spirit has done once through us, Spirit can do consistently. We are going to meet this budget and more for each of you and for the center as a whole. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God.
And as always, please stay for our sharing time after the benediction.
And this shifts us into our declarations, setting the foundation for the presentation today. Say with me, if you will, our purpose. The purpose of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living is to be a vital hub of beloved community. We learn and practice care and creativity for the gift of life as vessels of oneness, a synergy of spirit, soul, mind, and body for all beings. And we enact this through our mission and vision. Our mission is to teach personal transformation as a virtual community, living the principles of science of mind and celebrating all paths to God, which manifests our vision of a world that honors and respects all people. And this brings us to our application of what we believe that is dovetailed to our topic today. So for the month, higher, deeper love. And for today, to truly love, we must learn to mix various ingredients: care, affection, recognition, respect, commitment, and trust, as well as open and honest communication. And I turn this back over to Miss Tammy Evans for a sacred reading and meditation.
Thank you, Miss Vicky. A reading excerpt from Be Loved Now by Ross Dunn. I'm said that backwards. Ram Dass. Caught myself. Okay. Imagine feeling more love from someone than you have ever known. You're being loved even more than your mother loved you when you were an infant, more than you were ever loved by your father, your child, your most intimate lover, anyone. This lover doesn't need anything from you, isn't looking for personal gratification, and only wants your complete fulfillment. You are loved for just being who you are, just for existing. You don't have to do anything to earn it. Your shortcomings, your lack of self-esteem, physical perfection, or social or economic success, none of that matters. No one can take this love away from you. It will always be there. Imagine that being in this love is like relaxing endlessly into a warm bath that surrounds and supports your every movement, so that every thought and feeling is permeated by it. You feel as though you are dissolving into love. This love is actually part of you. It is always flowing through you. It is like the subatomic texture of the universe, the dark matter that connects everything. When you tune into that flow, you will feel it in your own heart, not your physical heart or your emotional heart, but your spiritual heart. The place you point to in your chest when you say, I am. This is your deeper heart, your intuitive heart. This is the place where the higher mind, pure awareness, the subtler emotions, and your soul identity all come together and you connect to the universe where presence and love are. Unconditional love really exists in each of us. It's part of our deep inner being. It is not so much an act of emotion as a state of being. It is not, I love you for this or that reason, not, I love you if you love me. It's love for no reason, love without an object. It is just sitting in love, a love that incorporates the chair and the room and permeates everything around it. The thinking mind is extinguished in love. If I go to the place in myself that is love, and you go to the place in yourself that is love, we are together in love. Then you and I are truly in love, the state of being love. That is the interest to oneness. Now, as we take this love into this morning's meditation, I invite you to find a comfortable position. Allow your body to settle. If it feels comfortable, close your eyes. Take a slow breath in through your nose and a long breath out through your mouth. Again, breathing in and breathing out. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. There is nowhere you need to go and nothing you need to accomplish for the next few minutes. Simply be here. Bring your awareness to your heart area, the center of your chest. You do not need to feel anything special. Just notice that this is a place where you can connect with care, compassion, and love. As you breathe, imagine a gentle warmth gathering there. Not intense, not overwhelming, just a quiet presence. Now reflect on the truth that life is made of many kinds of moments. Some moments feel joyful, easy, expansive. Others feel uncertain, painful, frustrating, or uncomfortable. We often welcome one and resist the other. Yet love has a different nature. Love does not need life to be perfect before it arrives. Love can be present with what feels good. And love can be present with what feels difficult. Grief is simply love that has nowhere to go. Bring to mind something in your life that feels good right now. Perhaps it's a relationship, a memory, a hope, or simply a small blessing from today. Notice how naturally your heart may open towards it. Allow yourself to receive the goodness of that experience. Let yourself appreciate it fully. As you breathe in, silently say, "Love is here." As you breathe out, say, "Thank you." Now gently shift your attention to something that feels uncomfortable. Choose something manageable, not the most difficult thing in your life, just something that carries tension, uncertainty, sadness, disappointment, or concern. Notice what happens in your body as you bring it to mind. There may be tightening, resistance, a wish for it to be different. Simply notice. Grief can be love with nowhere to go. Now imagine surrounding this experience in the same warmth you felt in your heart. Not to erase it, not to solve it, not to force yourself to like it. Simply allowing love to sit beside it. You might silently say, "This too belongs. Love can be here too." Notice that love is not an agreement. It's not approval. It's not pretending that pain is pleasant. Love is the willingness to remain present, to meet what is here with gentleness instead of rejection, to allow your experience to be held rather than thought. Now hold both realities together. The good in your life and the uncomfortable. See them resting side by side in your awareness. Neither needing to disappear or needing to dominate. Just part of the fullness of being human. And notice that the space of your heart is large enough for both. Take a few deep, slow breaths. Breathing in, may I welcome the good with gratitude. Breathing out, may I meet the uncomfortable with love. Again, breathing in, may I welcome the good with gratitude. Breathing out, may I meet the uncomfortable with love. Rest here for a moment, feeling the possibility that love is not something reserved for special circumstances. Love is a presence you can bring to every circumstance. To joy, sorrow, uncertainty, to doubt, comfort, and discomfort. As we close, place a hand over your heart if that feels comfortable. Offer yourself this blessing. May I trust that love is available in every experience. May I allow love to meet both the beautiful and the difficult parts of life. May I remember that my heart is spacious enough for it all. Take one final deep breath in and slowly let it go. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes, carrying this simple knowing with you. Love does not wait for life to become comfortable. Love is what helps us be present with life exactly as it is. Namaste. Now enjoy our special music. I Want to Know What Love Is. Music, travel, love, and friends from Dubai.
One, two, three, four. I've gotta take a little time to think things over. Better read between the lines, in case I need it when I'm older.
This mountain I must climb feels like the world's upon my shoulder. Through the clouds I see love shine, gives me warm as life grows colder.
In my life, there's been heartache and pain. I don't know if I can face it again. Can't stop now. I've traveled so far to change this lonely life. I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me. I wanna feel what love is. I know you can show me.
I've gotta take a little time to look around me. I've got nowhere left to hide. It looks like love has finally found me. In my life, there's been heartache and pain. I don't know if I can face it again. Can't stop now. I traveled so far to change this lonely life.
I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me. I wanna feel what love is. I know you can show me. Oh,
as if it really needs to be said one more time, the topic for today is, oh, I want to know what love is. Just taking that moment to let everything that's already been find its place. And I will simply say right here and now, try following that, all of that. Just amazes me what Spirit pulls together. So today, we dive into the new theme for June, Higher, Deeper Love, with this first topic. Personally, seriously, I believe there cannot be any more relevant topic. And I think this has always been true, but certainly it is being made evident everywhere we turn that we cannot possibly be spending too much time with love. Love is literally the omnipresent source that manifests and sustains all creation. This is not just an idea. And whatever we can do together, what I can do, what the practitioners can do, what your board can do, and what all of you can do as community to really, really take it to the place of knowing that the creator of everything is love. It's the love we understand, and it is equally expressions that we don't understand. And we want to look at them in human terms and say that cannot possibly be love. But I believe we are being challenged to recognize that the love that is God, that is actually the creator of all this universe, all universes, all dimensions, all of it, is so much more than we grasp at in human terms and we feel in our hearts and our souls. But if it is the all that is all, then we have so much more to learn from the challenges than we have maybe given God credit for, because dimensionally it is in forms and ways and there are applications of law that we haven't even begin to actually own and be willing to embody. We can talk about God and spirituality all day long, but where it counts is where the rubber hits the road within each and every individual. Where it counts is where it's moving in your own experience, in your own journey through your life. Literally, it is done unto us as we believe. And what we really truly believe can be a combination of all these influences. It can be spirituality, it can be friendships, it can be what we learned from our parents, all of that. But when it actually becomes what we believe, it becomes what we believe because we have known it at the depth of our own experience in such a way that we might not be able to tell another human being about it, but we know that we know that we know it is true for ourselves. And this is why it becomes so incredibly important to start where you are concerning this concept called love. When we can honestly recognize what we really have experienced about love, good, bad, or indifferent, when we can really say, this is what's happened to me, this is where I've been, this has been my journey, and we can start with that, and then we can begin to take what well-meaning and intentioned people around us have offered. Some of it will work and some of it won't work, and this is true of every community, spiritual community or otherwise. When people gather together, there are things that are in common, and we'll say, this is what we're gathering about. But then you talk to every single individual, and there are going to be pieces of that that are unique to that person. Okay. And that was just demonstrated here this morning. We have this communal gathering about relieving what is being called gun violence in this country because there are so many shootings. And then we have someone who said, this part works for me and that this part doesn't work for me. So what do we do about that? You know? And this is true of love because everything is love, but I mean actually working with, getting honest about love in our lives. And so in a little bit we're going to do a little exercise that will give you an opportunity to reflect on, okay, where am I at with love today? What really goes on for me? Because as we have said before in other years when we've had focus on love, it's kind of like, snow. If you talk about snow for us, there's maybe one or two or three kinds of snow. If you talk about snow to uh, an Inuit Eskimo in Alaska or, in Antarctica, they're going to tell you that there's, 13 or 14 or 20 different kinds of snow. What are we talking about here? And so I want to tell you just one story from my experience to kind of give you sort of an idea of the importance of getting in touch with your understanding of love and how that relates to your understanding of God. Because it's you and you and you and God that is not going to change. Every other relationship we have, no matter how much we love the person, changes. Okay? Every other experience, every other relationship we have is going to change, except for our relationship to ourselves and to the source from which we come. And so, for me, as I was putting this together and reflecting on this, I realized where the turning point for me about love was. And that was when I was in college. Up until that time, I was just kind of riding along, learning the term love and loving puppies and kittens and loving my family and so forth, but I hadn't really gotten into actually what I believed about love and what I believed about myself with regard to coming into adult life and saying, okay, I'm not as connected to the love I got from my parents. My siblings, I knew they were supposed to love me. They knew they were supposed to love me. And at their core, they did love me. But whether or not I always had a loving experience from my siblings is a whole nother matter, which is generally the case with lots of kids in our society. But, we come away with impressions from that. And then as adults, we kind of have to get that figured out. So for me, especially having a physical disability that is very present and not feeling like I'm the most appealing person that's in a room when I'm meeting like new classmates or whatever, you know, um, it really hit me when I was in college. I was invited to write a paper that had to do with sociological dynamics in my psychology. I mean, not in psychology, in philosophy. In my philosophy teacher gave us this instruction. And in writing that paper, I realized that what I really believed is I was doing good if I could get people to like me. Never mind whether or not they love me. Even my first husband. And that's when it really hit me that that's what I really believed. I believed I was doing good if, generally speaking, I could be sure he liked me. So I was doing everything I could to be sure that there wasn't a whole lot else not to like about me besides what was obvious, that I made people uncomfortable in different kinds of ways, and those things that we go through. That was all my monkey chatter. That wasn't anything anybody was particularly feeding me, but that's where I went with my belief about love. And so, what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and move to this exercise because, again, as simple as it might seem when you guys see these slides, it is so, so fundamentally, first and foremost, what is going on for you. And this is not something that I'm going to ask you guys to share. You can during sharing time. Absolutely, you can. But go ahead with the next slide, please, Vernon. So, what I would like to suggest that you do, hopefully, I meant to say this when when we started service. Hopefully, you guys have something you can make a little note on. So the first thing is my list of 4 things that I simply just say I love, and it could be a hamburger, just the stream of consciousness, just the first 4 things that come to you. I love what? Just list 4 things that you spontaneously say, I love this, or I love that, and I love the other thing, to kind of get an orientation what you spontaneously will use that word love about. And I'm going to give you a minute or 2 to do that. Now let's take a pausing breath. And even if you don't quite feel finished with that, this is something I actually encourage you to return to and spend a little contemplative, meditative time with, perhaps with some regularity, you know. Go ahead and switch to the next slide, please, Vernon. Now, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do the same thing with your list of 4 things that make you feel loved. And there again, that could be chocolate. I know some people on a feeling level have felt the most comforted and loved by whatever form of chocolate is their favorite. So it's not necessary to filter. Just let yourself reflect on, what are things that I know make me feel loved? Could be people, could be pets. Once again, suggesting that you can continue this process at any time. Just kind of keeping these ideas with you as you go through this week and the coming days, one day at a time, actually. My encouragement to you is to begin to notice and consider love. You know, notice where you see love being expressed, where you see love happening. When you see love happening or are amidst a loving exchange, pay a little more attention to it. See what love has to teach you. See what love has to teach you about making more room for more of that. You know, um, would it take feeling a little more safe? Would it take, clear communication with someone? Are there places where you have a tremendous amount of love that isn't being expressed? I just absolutely love the piece of Tammy's meditation that grief is love that has nowhere to go. You know, um, notice where you're using the word love. Notice where you hear or feel love with any of your senses. Um, I'm suggesting to you that the more we engage something in relationship, the stronger that relationship gets. And because love is actually the essence that emerges as all forms, as all things, absolutely. If we invest more in paying attention to love, love will show us the way. I do believe one of the slides, the little one with the butterfly on it today, says that love will lead the way. Love will lead the way. And just like what we say about other contexts of the word spirit, love is spirit, spirit is love. Spirit's going to meet us where we show up. So when we show up choosing to engage love, love will show us, both in the things that are joyous and simple and all of that, and the things that are challenging. So today, for our closing treatment, we're going to do another little exercise. This is a little bit different exercise. This isn't specifically about love, but it is a method that will help you get in touch with yourself at a soul level. Again, coming from that class context that we've been working about the journey of the soul and the magic of the soul. So there's slides that go with this actually. And so Vernon, go ahead and pull up the first slide for me. And before we start this closing treatment, which is a visual, I just want to impart to you all that this comes out of a meditative exercise in the Magic of the Soul book. And I know of at least one person, I'm quite sure she will not mind my expressing this. Maruk has been doing this meditation regularly. And that's one of the things that inspired me to know I wanted to do it as the closing treatment today, because her experience has been that it has been, deeply, deeply inspirational to being in touch with herself and her relationship to spirit. And it's not for me to say anything more about that. What I'm asking you to do, here's slide number 1. And there's 3 of them. And I'm going to tell Vernon when to change the slide. We're going to spend about a 1-minute meditation on each of these. The first one is about, there are 3 of them, and it's a trinity. The first one is exercising our intention or our will. The next one will be affairs of the heart. So the first one being will is masculine, the second one being the heart is the feminine, and then the 2 of them come together, and then you have creation, which is the third of the triangle. And so with this first visual, we're just going to take a minute, and then I'm not going to say anything except for to have Vernon change the slide, and then we're going to take a minute with that one, and then we're going to take a minute with the third one. And when we do, then I will put a closing on the closing treatment. I'm going to open it from here, and then we'll walk through it, and I'll close. So I invite you all to just settle in, put your focus on the visual, and breathe as we recognize the one life, the one love, the one divine creative process. And as the one is all, each of us is the all in expression. Each of us has that central core that is one with the one and knows it in consciousness. And from this alignment, opening this space to sharing the communion with the masculine, the feminine, and the two together coming into creation itself. Shifting from the masculine to the feminine. Slide, please. And bringing the two together in the creative process. Slide. In this moment, surrendering to trust in the process that the masculine, the feminine, and the two together are moving through each and every one of us all the time, with every breath, with every heartbeat, with every thought and emotion or feeling that comes with it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Presence of Life, for teaching us from the beginning about love into being love manifest. With the heart of a child, I release it, I let it be, and so it is.
And so it is. Well, now is the time for the giving of our gifts. We thank you for all the ways that you give to LCSL and the ways to give are on the slide and in the chat, along with our snail mail address of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living, P.O. Box 43958, Louisville, Kentucky 40253. Now, please join me in affirming today's affirmation. I believe the love of spirit is forever flowing through me. I know that the expansive creativity of spirit is pressing through my finances abundantly. And now I pass to Vicky for the blessing of the offering.
And I just think that this particular blessing needs to be about how cute the frog is.
Yeah.
Sometime you should all ask Miss Reverend Carolyn about the power of frogs. And Spirit knows exactly what I'm talking about. So I will call it good and very good. I will let it be. And so it is.
So please always remember and don't ever forget that we are magnificent. Now join us for our closing song, There's Only Love by Karen Drucker.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. It's love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. It's the love that heals, the love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. 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 There is only
Join with me if you choose in our benediction. Divine Spirit, Mother, Father, God, ultimately we shall see that the universe rests on the shoulders of love, that God is love, and that all the errors of man are the result of ignorance of his own true nature. An evolved soul judges no one, condemns no one, but realizes that all are on the road of the experience seeking the same goal, and that each must ultimately find his home in heaven. And that is by our Dr. Ernest Holmes.